Except
you.
someone else had 10
had
already,
8.
so you would
I
have
had
20.
8 too. Yeah, Jack's had 8, I think.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry. I'm sorry.
Glaives only
I
get
had 4.
5.
Go
But
with
if you want to
that.
give us 10,
Go
then
with
I
that.
mean, yeah.
You know
I
what?
took 10.
You know what? Sure. I already said 10. You guys go to town. Everyone has 10 in addition
Shopping
to
spree.
the one guy that
I like
had an
this,
extra
I like
10.
this GM.
I'm going shopping.
You guys go shopping. If someone wants to call out the page number that has all the junk on it, let me see if I can find it as well. There's, for those of you who don't know, there's like 5 different books that I don't know why they did it this way. This is like the most
62 starts armor and weapons.
62. This is like the most book intensive system I've ever seen.
Or 64 on the PDF.
Mm-hmm. I've defined my own. So you guys, there it is. So you guys go through there. Let me know what you want. Encumbrance is a lot of stuff. Encumbrance is not like Dungeons and Dragons and things. It's more common sense, like the systems I've been rolling with. I don't like encumbrance systems in these kind of RPGs. I do like the common sense type thing. You know, you can't put a car in your backpack, but you know, you could potentially carry other stuff. So as long as you're not carrying anything crazy, I'll let you do what you want pretty much. If you do start going crazy, I'll probably just lower your speed pool down temporarily until you get rid of whatever. So you can do what you want. Light armor, there's 3 types of armors: light, medium, and heavy, that have a different type of restriction with them. Has a might cost and a speed pool cost. The speed pool is a permanent reduction until you take the armor off. The might is a cost per hour. So you never want to keep your armor on all the time because you're getting tired. Your character's walking around with heavy armor. They're actually getting tired. So the might pool is a permanent reduction until you rest. The speed pool is just until you take it off. Does that make sense? So you guys want to keep in mind, a nano might not want to wear heavy armor because they don't have a lot of might. They'll fall over onto the ground in 2 or 3 hours, whereas a glaive can probably walk around a whole day and be just fine. So you can do that. You also have weapons and stuff. Light weapons do 2 points of damage. Medium weapons do 4. Heavy weapons do 6 points of damage. You don't roll for damage. You just do however much damage you do with the weapon that you have. So does anyone? We can go through this one at a time if you want. Shub, what are you picking up? Do you know?
Let's see. For armor, I was kind of actually looking up what the might cost is for the armor, but I'm going to be wearing Brigandine. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I Wikipedia'd it and it looked cool, so I'm going to wear it.
That's perfect.
It's a medium armor.
Okay. Medium armor will be a might cost of 2 per hour.
2, okay.
And that's a speed pool reduction of 3 while you wear it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And for weapons, I picked a crossbow, which is a medium weapon.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to pick a crossbow, it says you have to pay for bolts and stuff. I'll just let you take 12 bolts or arrows that you want.
Cool, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And a heavy weapon, which is a great sword.
Okay. And heavy weapons, just you had to hold them with 2 hands. That's what the difference between a medium weapon. Medium weapon, you could hold a shield and something. A heavy weapon, you have to use 2 hands.
Right. So there's I also added as a weapon unarmed, which in the case of the first tier fighting move that I picked, I chose no need for weapons.
Okay.
Which gives my unarmed basically it counts as a medium weapon instead of a light weapon.
Oh,
so
that's
I
nice.
wanted to put that in there to remind me that an unarmed is 4 damage.
Okay, that's perfect. That's awesome. Keep in mind that when you're unarmed, that also takes the attack difficulty down by 1 step. So if I say an enemy has like a 5 difficulty, because punching is easier than swinging a sword or something, that difficulty goes down by 1 step. So remind me of that every time as well.
Okay.
All right, so that's what you're gonna get. Eve, do you know what you're gonna pick up, if anything?
Yeah, I started out with the 20 shin because I got the 10 shin bonus from Clever, and you miraculously gave me 10 instead of 4. Thank you.
No problem.
My character comes with like a basic set of clothing, so he's wearing clothing. He comes with 2 books of Numenera. I have no idea why I get 2 of them and why they're the same subject, but apparently that's what I get from being a nano and from the focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to pick a backpack, 3 days worth of rations,
Okay.
a pouch, and then a first aid kit. So
Okay.
I have 1 shin left.
Awesome. Perfect. That sounds good.
So are we getting 10 on top of what the characters gave, or 10 total?
10 total.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
10 total. I have clever, so it gave me 10 more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He
'Cause I'm
cheated.
clever.
So, is that also counting the weapons and armor that you get for free as part of your first?
You should get those. You should have those automatically just from being your character.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
see,
So,
I was... Shoot.
Thank you for reminding. The weapon that I picked, I can only use light weapons, and they're practice, so I don't get any bonuses with them. But I went with a razor ring, because, whatever.
Okay.
So
When I first
essentially
read
punch
razor
people.
ring, I thought there was like a little ring and it had a razor on it. I was like, that
Well,
sounds
that's
kind of.
essentially what it is, isn't
No,
it?
I
mean,
thought
it's
of
supposed to
a
be-
giant circle. Then that makes
No.
more sense.
No, the description says that it's literally a ring with, like, razors on it.
Really? Okay.
So, yeah, essentially I punch people and cut them.
Turn it around
So-
and slap someone and cut them that way.
I like that.
There you go. There you go. So you need a little bit of time.
Well, I was actually going through it and then taking the shins out, but then you reminded me that, hey, we get stuff already, so I just had to add it back in. My character as Jack already has the Explorer's Pack, so, and then with the Explorer's Dark Places, you get one, or you can get the 50 feet of rope, 2 extra days of rations, and so on. I get a pack of light tools and 2 ciphers that's chosen by you later, I guess. I don't know.
Yep. Keep it. Write down how many ciphers you're going to get, so you don't have to refer to it, and we'll all roll on those when we
Right.
get down there.
Again, oddity, 2 minor glow globes, and then I get 2 weapons. So I'm going to do a crossbow, and you said it already came with 12 bolts. I'm going to buy 12 more just so I have extra. And then a rapier, and then I get light armor. So I was going to pick the leather jerkin.
Okay.
And I don't know the cost. I know you get +1 armor, but the might cost, I don't know.
The might cost will be it's light is 1, medium's 2, heavy's 3. And then the speed costs are light is 2, medium is 3, heavy's actually 5 there. Do I have this on my cheat sheet? I don't know. If you type in like Numenera cheat sheet, there's a really good one that's like 5 pages. That's really helpful. And Google. There's a PDF someone made as a GM screen, and that should help you out a little. The problem with these easy systems that there's sometimes a lot of little rules that kind of sneak up on you. They're easy light systems. All right, let's move on to Yuki. Do you know what you're getting?
So I already have the strong glass blade because of my ice armor, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick up 2 knives with my starting equipment.
Okay.
I get a light armor, so I picked hides and furs.
Okay.
I got the Explorer's Pack and a pack of light tools already. 2 ciphers, 1 oddity. So with my shins, I'm going to get a bottle of alcohol
Okay.
for 3 shins and a tent also for 3 shins.
Okay. Awesome. If you want, I know there's only 2 things of light armor on here. Hides and furs seems kind of odd because you're the Sheen of Ice guy, right? Yeah.
Yep.
If you wanna just make something up, if you know something that might fit your character better, and call that light armor.
Okay.
I'll let you do that because it's weird if you're gonna be made of ice and suddenly you're wearing hides and furs for whatever reason. So
I lived in the cold, so I hunted polar bears and just made armor out of it.
oh, there you go. Well, there wouldn't be polar bears in this world. Maybe there's like a giant
Something similar.
polar giant somewhere out in the world. Whatever a polar bear would evolve to over 1 billion years. Okay, awesome. That should be everyone. So everyone has their starting equipment, right?
I did have a question.
Yeah.
Jacks have tricks of the trade. I'm not sure I fully understand. Like you get 2, it says you choose 2. Are they permanent, or you just use them once a day or something?
You choose to... let me look at tricks. I believe that moves your aggro over to the selected target. No. World of Warcraft joke.
I got it.
I'm glad.
Yay! Wow.
Tricks of the Trade. What page is that on?
29.
29. That's the
It's
PDF.
under first tier Jack.
No, that's. I keep asking you what pages. It's not the same.
31 in the PDF.
Well, it's not the same in the core book. I don't have the player book.
Gotcha.
You have a wide range of abilities that keep people guessing. Some of these tricks of the trade are technically esoteries, using the Numenera, while others are more mundane. Others are specific actions that usually cost points from one of your stat pools. Choose 2 of the tricks described below. You can't choose the same trick more than once unless its description says otherwise. So that's basically just telling you to choose one of 2 of those tricks. So you get 2 of those.
Okay. I was going to do the pierce, which gives me a +1 damage if I have a sharp point, which helps when I have bolts from a crossbow.
Definitely. Awesome. So does anyone else have any questions about like abilities and stuff like that before we move on?
We're going to pick our esoteric and our skill sets, like our first starting skills and all that, I imagine.
You can go ahead and do that right now. That's kind of what Sol was asking about, the tricks of the trade.
Okay, cool. I guess you want to know what I've picked?
Yeah, let's go through and we can do that as well.
I picked Onslaught, which is an esoteric, and what that does is it allows me to cast either mentally, which is 2 points of intellect damage, or physically, which is 4 points of physical damage.
Okay.
And then I also picked Ward, which gives me 1 armor.
Okay, awesome. That's perfect. Has everyone picked their skills? Has anyone not picked their skills? It should have been under like first tier Jack and first tier Glaive. What did
I think I got mine.
What did you pick, Shoop?
So I picked no need for weapons, so that gives me that unarmed bonus, I guess, if you will, and thrust, which it's basically a melee stab. If I make an attack, and inflict 1 additional point of damage if your weapon has a sharp edge or point. So.
Okay, awesome. And what did you pick, Yuki?
I picked Pierce. I also picked Practiced in Armor.
Okay. And that means you can wear armor for a reasonable period of time without tiring and compensate for slowed reactions from wearing armor. You can wear any kind of armor. You might reduce the might cost per hour for wearing and the speed pool reduction for wearing the armor by 2. You reduce the might cost per hour and the speed pool. Okay, so you can wear light armor indefinitely.
Yes.
You could wear medium armor indefinitely as well. Okay, cool. That is cool. But you'd still suffer, I think, 1 speed pool reduction for medium armor. And so what was your second one?
I was going to, from the tricks, it was going to be skill defense.
Okay. Choose 1 type of defense task in which you are not already trained, might, speed, or intellect. You are trained in defense tasks of that type. Cool. Unlike most tricks of the trade, you can select this trick up to 3 times. Each time you select it, you must choose a different type of defense. Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's go down to the ciphers, artifacts, and oddities. You should have a certain amount of ciphers, artifacts, and oddities that you can pick from. The way this is going to work, when we go through the game and you find ciphers in the world, you do have to roll an intellect check to see if you know what it does. They all have names with them, but when you find them in the world, I'm going to have you guys name them rather than go with the name in the book. So I'll tell you what it does, and then you can decide on a name. For now, when we pick ciphers from the list, you'll go and just call it that. You can assume they have them. And I'll explain all these to you as well. Ciphers are one-time use abilities. You pick up an orb off the ground, it puts a shield around you, it's burnt out. You swallow a potion, you can suddenly breathe underwater, it's gone. It's one-time use things that give you an advantage. And you can actually, it's very encouraged that you use them because you're going to find a lot of them. These things are everywhere. I mean, you've got a billion years of technology laying everywhere. You're going to find ciphers all the time. And in fact, whenever you search an area for ciphers, like you go down into like a basement or something and do a search check, you actually roll a 1d6 to find ciphers. So you can find up to 6 ciphers in one search. Now your character can only carry a certain number of ciphers right now, whether that's 2 or 3. What happens is if you go over that limit, these ciphers start doing really weird things. They start emitting radiation. They start interacting with each other, and bad stuff happens. And I can tell you right now, the worst thing that happens if you're carrying enough ciphers is that they interact and a kind of a void opens around you and swallows you and anything in your immediate vicinity up. So it's
Does that kill you, or does that just
you're
transport you
gone.
somewhere?
You're dead. That void is. So these ciphers, it's very important. I mean, you can go over if you want. That's the most extreme case for ciphers. So you can carry as many as you're trained to. And if you want to go over a little, you can kind of risk the effects. You know, it's random. We roll dice to see if effects happen, and so on and so forth. So let's start with Oh, and let me go over the other things. Artifacts are they're more permanent. An artifact, and they're more rare in the world as well. You'll pick up an artifact, and it might make you like immune to fire or something like that. And what happens is you actually roll every time you use it. If you roll successfully, you keep it. If you roll bad, then it burns out. So artifacts are more permanent. And like I said, they're more rare. They're that kind of thing. Ciphers you don't really want to save because you might come across something better and cooler, but you won't be able to carry it. You'll start having to juggle ciphers, so you want to use those as much as you can. Artifacts you might want to hold on to, see what happens, see if you get in a good situation. And oddities are something that they're really weird. You don't quite know what they are. They're just there. You like I was saying earlier, you have an egg-shaped vase or something. You drop it on the ground and it reforms itself. You're not quite sure why it happens. It just happens. It might have had some part in a previous civilization, but it signifies that you're not always going to know everything in the world. This stuff just has weird things that you can't figure out. So we'll start with ciphers. We'll start with Shub. Shub, how many ciphers do you get?
Get 2.
You get 2. So if you can,
Yeah, and that's all I'm carrying. I am not going over that limit.
that's perfectly fine. If you want to go ahead and roll for me, I need to actually change some stuff around on this because of Yuki's disconnecting earlier. Hold on, because this is Eve. This is Soul. Put that there. Oh yeah. Let's move this down to Yuki. And there we go. Nameplates are nice and pretty-ish. And
Ish.
if you can go ahead and roll for me 2d100. Do you know how to use Roll20?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, 94 and 94.
Oh,
there you
that
go.
is great. Let's go ahead and roll one. We'll see if you want. If you don't want to carry
Just
two,
see what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did I put that? 94 would be Tracer. So let me go down and find Tracer. They don't have this. I don't know how else they would set this up, but it's not the best type of thing ever. QRS T Tracer. This fires a microscopic tracer that clings to any surface within short range. For the next 28 hours, the launcher shows the distance and direction to the tracer, as long as it is in the same dimension. And you can, go ahead and roll a 1d6 for me.
Okay.
All right, so if you want to keep both of them, they're going to be level 3. And do you want to keep both of them, or do you want to roll another one?
I'd rather roll another one, I think.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure thing. That's okay. So go ahead and roll another 1d100. 67. So you now have a numbing ray emitter. And if we go down to ray emitter, this allows you to project a ray of destructive energy up to 200 feet or 61 meters that inflicts damage equal to the Cipher's level. So go ahead and roll a 1d6 plus 2.
Sorry, was that 1d6 plus 2?
Correct.
Wow.
All right, so that would do 6 damage. Oh, wait, hold on.
Nice.
That's a regular ray emitter. What's a
No,
you
it's
got
an
a
advanced ray
numbing.
emitter.
You got a numbing ray emitter. Allows the user to project. Okay, so it's the same thing. A small number of these devices induce numbing that lasts for 1 hour. Okay, so allows the user to project a ray of energy up to 200 feet that numbs one limb of the target, making it useless for 1 minute. And then make a note. So it's not going to do any damage, but it's level 6. So the level 6 is important because that's what you're going to have to roll in order to hit an enemy or not. You would have to, a small number of these devices, 5% induce numbing that lasts for 1 hour. So if you want it to last a long time, we can make a note that says 5% chance, roll a D100, and it does that for an hour. All right, let's go down to your artifacts. We'll just do these right down the list.
Okay. I get 1 oddity.
You get 1 oddity. You don't get any artifacts?
I'm pretty sure that's what it said.
Okay.
Just to make sure.
And if you want to roll a D100 for me again.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just 1 oddity.
Okay, perfect. 16. You get a small rod that emits a voice saying the same thing in an unknown language every time a button is pushed. So that is your oddity. You don't know what it's for. You just have this thing that just
I want to push the button.
just says some random thing every time you press a button.
Button pressed.
Oh yeah.
Probably. I can see that coming into play, actually.
So something happens whenever a button's pushed.
A voice just says the same thing over and over again every time it's pushed in an unknown language.
Unknown language, so we don't know what it actually is saying.
Mhm.
So
Gibberish.
All right, that's awesome. Let's go over to Eve now. How many ciphers do you get?
I get 3 ciphers and 1 oddity.
3 ciphers and 1 oddity. Maybe no one gets artifacts because there's no artifact list here. Cipher list. So you go ahead and roll a 3D100 for me. 63, 47, and 29. 63 is a poison mind controlling. Ooh.
That sounds cool.
That does sound cool.
Poison mind controlling. What the heck?
Where is that at?
You make them sick and then you make them go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, right? What?
And that's going to be a 1d6 plus 2 if you want to roll the level there. So that's going to be a level 8 pill.
Sweet. Oh, it's a pill?
Yeah. It's
Girls here.
yeah, it's a pill, ingestible or injectable liquid. It says wearable. I guess if you want to go through your Shub, I kind of skipped over this. Just what's wearable and how they actually are. That ray emitter, I imagine, is just like a ray gun or something. The victim must carry out a specified action in response to a specific trigger, and you just roll on that. So they can you roll a D100. They can lay down for 1 minute with eyes closed when told to do so. Answers questions truthfully for 1 minute. It's kind of a shot in the dark, you know. You give them the thing. One of them says a ring with a needle, so that'd probably go really well with your razor ring there. And hopefully 80, if you roll an 86 through 95 for 28 hours, the days in Numenera are 28 hours because the world's kind of floated and rotates differently for whatever reason. For 28 hours, becomes sexually attracted to the next creature of its own species that it sees is one of the things you could roll on that pill.
Sweet. This pill is awesome.
I like this game already. This is gonna be so.
And like I
funny.
said, yeah, you guys find these ciphers everywhere. I mean, you should use these things because you're gonna find tons of them. The next one is 47, I believe. 47 is a lightning wall projector. Ooh.
Lightning wall projector.
Let's see what that is.
Laser show.
If you want to roll a 1d6 plus 2, and that's a complex device, that'll be the level of it. Creates a wall of electric bolts up to 30 feet by 30 feet by 1 foot that inflicts damage equal to the cipher level on anything that it passes through it. The wall
Holy
conforms to the space available, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
Do not use this in any cave we explore.
That's pretty cool. 30 feet by 30 feet by 1 foot. That is a large. That's not a wall. That's like a lightning room. All right. So that's your lightning thing, and then 29 is a force nodule.
Force nodule.
And a force nodule is a 1d6 on its level if you want to roll that. It's actually a crystal nodule that affixes to your armor. And for the next 28 hours, the armor the nodule is attached to is bolstered by a powerful force field, adding +2 to the armor it provides.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So that is...
So 26 hours of +2 armor.
28 hours of +2 armor, yep.
28.
So that's one day. And I believe that's all 3 of them for you, right?
Yep, that's all 3.
And
And
you
now
get
an oddity.
one oddity?
One oddity.
All right, go ahead and roll a 1d100 for me.
If I know how to spell, this would be even better.
26. You get a series of thin plastic cards that show all kinds of unknown creatures.
Sweet.
That sounds awesome.
You basically got a Pokemon deck or something there.
I am good with that. I like it. Thin plastic cards with unknown creatures.
There you go. That is pretty cool. So good luck with that.
Oh, I can use that. I can totally use that.
All right, let's go ahead and go with Soul. Soul, how many ciphers do you get? 2. Go ahead and roll a 2d100 for me.
Okay, I can't spell either, apparently.
So you get a 46 and a 72. A 46 is a knowledge enhancement.
Hey.
Knowledge enhancement. And that is roll a 1d6 for me. That's a level. And that's a pill or an ingestible liquid, whatever you want it to be. And that's it could be an adhesive patch that activates when slapped or something. For the next 28 hours, the character has training in a predetermined skill. Although the skill could be anything, including something specific to the operation of one device or something similar. Common skills include, and it goes through 1 through 100. So you get a random skill whenever you... I think it's a random skill.
For the next
Oh,
day?
it has training in a predetermined skill. So go ahead and roll a 1d100 for me. Well, do you want to know what the skill is, or would you rather be surprised?
You know what? Let's be surprised.
Okay,
Make
so
things interesting.
So when you toss that on someone, then we can find
For the
out.
next,
Quick,
like,
this will make you
day.
fight better. Oh, I can swim better all of a sudden. That's
Oh
great.
my god! And we're in a desert.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Is that for the next 28 hours, or was there a different? I didn't hear
28 hours, one day.
28. Okay, 28 hours. So random. Okay, cool. Fabulous.
And let's go with 72. A 72 gets you a remote viewer.
And it does.
Let me see. Roll a 1d6 for me. And that's going to be the level of your remote viewer. So that's going to be level 5 as well. this device is splits into two parts when activated, one with a glass screen. For 1 hour, the glass screen on one part shows everything going on in vicinity of the other part, regardless of the distance between two parts.
That
So,
sounds awesome.
that's really cool. And you get 1 oddity, right?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll a 1d100 for me.
Yeah, I'm just writing down the other cipher.
Okay.
Get a Pokedeck. Get a Pokedeck.
75. Did we get 75? No. You get a pair of tiny metal rods that when brought within 1 inch of each other, vibrate exactly 15 minutes before the sun rises on any given day.
Oh, that's useful.
That's great in a cave, actually.
That actually fits your character
works
perfectly
very,
well.
very well.
It's an alarm clock.
It's amazing.
That is pretty cool. So you could use that in Minecraft or something, huh?
Right?
All right.
Is that a one-time use or is that a permanent?
Oddities are permanent until you throw them away.
Fabulous. Okay.
They're kind of useless to you guys, but maybe you'll find someone that wants to buy them.
Speak for yourself. That Pokedeck is amazing.
Exactly. Let's go with Yuki. How many ciphers do you get?
2.
2 ciphers. Go ahead and roll a 2d100 for me. 80 and 40. 80 will be a sonic hull. And a sonic hull it's a wristband or a belt mounted device. Go roll a 1d6 plus 2.
1d6 plus 2.
And that'll be the level of it. Draws all sound within long range into the device for 1 round per cipher level. So for 7 rounds, all of the sound within long range is pulled into this device. Within the affected area, no sound can be heard.
That sounds interesting.
That sounds really interesting. Good luck with that. Just suddenly people are, we can't hear each other. Let's see. So that's a cipher. And then you got 40. An Inferno wall projector. I imagine that's the same thing as a lightning wall projector.
We just won our first encounter.
Just throw all these on the ground. That'll be a 1d6 plus 2 as well.
6 plus 2.
Oh. And I think the levels on this, I might be wrong. I'll have to check after today's session, but I think the level is what you would roll to see if it works. So if you got a 3, so you'd have to roll a 9 or higher for this to work when you want to use it, or it breaks. I'm assuming. We'll see what happens. And I'll take a look after today's session. If one of y'all knows that, then you can toss that out there. This creates a wall of extreme heat, up to 30 feet by 30 feet by 1 foot, that inflicts damage equal to the cipher level on anything that passes through it. The wall conforms to the space available, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So a 10-minute firewall that you probably definitely don't want to walk through.
Nope.
I
Well,
like
no.
how the ice guy has the firewall.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I could walk through that because I would have the ice armor.
Oh, yeah, that's
Then
right.
the ice armor would melt.
I'll run through it.
We'll run through it really
Run
fast.
through it really quick.
And then you want an oddity. So roll a 1d100 for me.
Get a Pokedeck. Pokedeck.
I'm hoping for the Pokedeck.
49.
I didn't get the Pokedeck.
So much for playing games together.
You get a metal canister that fills with 4 quarts of water at the same time each day.
Free
That's
water.
awesome.
Four
We're never going
quarts.
thirsty.
Why couldn't it have been alcohol?
And let's go ahead and have you decide what time would you like that to refill at. 28-hour days.
14 hours into the day.
14 hours in. So
Midday.
all right, sounds good. Go ahead and mark that down. And I believe that is everything, huh? Everyone has everything. Now there's one more thing. Let me look at your character sheets here to make sure I have everything explained to you. You're at tier 1. You're at effort 1. Let me explain what effort is. So you're fighting an enemy that has 4 difficulty, and let's say that Shroob wants to swing at it with his sword, but he wants to put a little bit of effort into it. So he can spend 3 of his might and reduce the difficulty of that enemy down by 1 step. Shroob, you probably have an effort and an edge in might, so that would only cost you 2 points.
Right.
But right now you only have 1 level of effort, so you can really only exert 1 level of effort. Whether you're sneaking, you want to figure out what something is, whenever you want to reduce the difficulty of anything, you can spend 3 points and put an effort into it. Does that make sense to everyone? It should, hopefully. Now for your recovery rolls, did y'all see where it said your recovery roll modifier or something like that? I don't know if it actually mentioned that or not. And
It's in there somewhere. but
okay, and you guys probably put that. There's an area that says.
I didn't.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the recovery rolls and stuff
Yeah.
like that
Where
yet.
where did you find the recovery rolls at, Eve?
Oh, just on the character sheet. I mean, it doesn't really say too much more about it. Just recovery rolls.
Okay,
I
I don't know how to use them or anything. I assume we'll just do it when we do it.
Where's the recovery rolls?
You might not
Uh,
get. I'm not sure where the
You know,
Oh, on
modifier
the
comes
actual
from.
sheet. Like,
Yeah,
looking
the
over here,
recovery roll itself is an actual sheet. Basically what happens, it might just be a 1d6 period. I'll look at that later. But basically the way recovery rolls work is you can see where it says 1 action, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 10 hours. Whenever you do a recovery for 10 hours, it all resets. So let's say you want to recover something from one of your stat pools, your might, speed, intellect, whatever. You roll the 1d6, you just click on it, and the 1d6 gets rolled right there. So I just recovered 4 points in a pool I want, wherever I want to put that. And the recovery rolls, you can do it once as an action. So if you're in the middle of combat, you take a step back, you breathe, you do a recovery roll, and you recover that amount. You can do that once. And then the next one will take 10 minutes. The next one will take 1 hour. The next one will take 10 hours. And at 10 hours, that's the length of a night. You've slept it off. Then you get all your recovery rolls back. Does that make sense? So that's
I think
kind of
So
that's
you
kind of how
can
you can go.
actually use that during combat as well. Then.
You can use the
No time.
first one during
Okay,
combat.
and I'm
Because-
guessing that's an action.
Yep, that would count as your. So instead of attacking, you would just take a step back, breathe, and get some hit points back.
Hit points start at your might, right?
Yep. Unless an enemy specifically targets something with one of their abilities, might would go first, then speed, then so on and so forth. As far as losing health, and we'll go through this as we play the game. You guys don't really have to remember this right off the bat. And in fact, I can't even find where I wrote that down. So we
So
will just
unprepared.
yeah, we just won't worry about that right now. Basically, you move down damage tracks. You see where it says impaired and disabled. Whenever you lose like all your might, you move down the damage track to impaired. Whenever you lose all your speed, you run down to disabled. When you lose all your intellect, you're dead. And there's some debuffs that go along with that. And if we ever hit those, then I'll look them up. But hopefully you guys don't hit them today. Okay.
right now.
That's up
Right
to
now.
you, Mr. GM.
Right now. So I think we are ready to get started.
Cool. Can we take like a
Yeah.
little break before we do that?
Let's do that. Let's take a good 5-10 minutes and meet back
Awesome.
at 9:05 and we'll be good to go. Sound good?
Does that mean we're going to the no pants section of the cast?
Yeah, sure. You can take off your pants on camera and do whatever you want.
Yeah, wouldn't that be against Twitch's terms and conditions?
As long as you're wearing underwear, I think we're okay. So you guys go do that. I will get ready. And do any of y'all have any questions about any of the rules or anything before we?
We'll probably have questions while we're playing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I will see you guys in just a little bit.
Awesome.
Your claps.
All right. Let me turn this
Well,
up.
an
as well.
artifact in there, I
Well-
have to go get it. I mean,
We'll do that afterwards, right? But
we'll
there's-
let him distract them, and I'll just go around in the shadows. And be like, hey.
I can't wait to get tier 6 for the Jack.
yeah, I don't know if we'll ever make it there, to be fair.
Probably not, but if I do, invisibility.
I don't think Tuck can even be hurt by our first level 1, 2, and 3 creatures, right, Tuck? I mean, you have so much armor.
Well,
have-
it's
Oh, hi, Sal.
yeah.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Quick, stop talking about people.
The creature level really doesn't matter. The game's not based off of levels per se. So like a tier 6 person obviously has better abilities and stuff and would be able to take out a higher level creature. But tier 1 could take out, you know, a high level creature with a little bit of luck there.
Is there like an amount of XP before we can get up to tier 2, or how do we go up in the tiers?
Well, XP is pretty rare. You don't get XP for fighting. You don't get XP for any of that stuff.
We get XP for everything.
You get
Do we get
XP
XP for light?
for like no. You get XP for discovering stuff. So if you discover like an artifact, that's what you get experience for. You get experience at the end of the session, and you get experience for GM intrusions. So if I force something upon you, you get experience.
So we intrude a lot.
Well, we'll see.
So
We'll
how
see
do we
what
go
happens.
up in the tiers then?
Well, if you scroll down to the bottom of your sheet there, you should see where it says advancement. You have to complete 4 to advance in the tier. You can do those 1 each. So when you check off, I can't remember what the others were. They were like you buy other abilities and stuff like that. If you're really interested in that, then I can look those up. But basically, you spend 4 XP, so it costs 16 experience to level up.
Okay.
Because you just have to do 1 of each of those. And as soon as you tick one of those boxes, you can automatically use that advantage. And when you level up, those boxes get unticked and you can use them again. So that's leveling up's pretty easy. It's going to take a while. It's not fast, but because
Well, there's only 6 tiers. I mean,
yeah, exactly. There's only 6 tiers, and the enemies can only go up to level 10. So because 10 is the highest, it's the impossible, a task that normal humans couldn't even consider. But you're not normal humans, are you? You're a bunch of special people.
Apparently, we're a bunch of sneaks.
A bunch of sneaks.
sneaks that steal things.
We're pretty shady. Is Tuck shady? I don't remember that. Shoom? Did Tuck?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he wears a cloak and he has a hood, so you know it covers up his implants and the servos and motors and stuff like that is used.
Mhm.
So you know, remember that only Eve knows what he really is made of. And Tal, just real quick, add a little bit of background that might help you out with some stuff as well.
Yeah, sure thing.
So-
Be sure you put it in your character sheet as well. I won't use them too much today, just because it's a lot to take in. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't really have an adventure planned. So you'll be going through a bunch of stuff randomly. It's hard to plan adventures whenever you don't have what your party's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll go through some stuff. Just bear with me as we go through some things. I won't kill you, so if I send too many enemies your way, I'll do my best.
Well,
to...
we'll just send Tuck out at them.
You'll just send Tuck out, and everyone else. He'll turn around, and everyone else will be gone. I'm sure.
Hang on, you said you're not going to kill us, so I'm going to up my ciphers up to about 10.
All right, I won't intentionally or unintentionally kill you. If you do something dumb, I'll kill you. That'll be a quick game.
And we gotta go all over the character creation.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's bring up Roll20 again here. And this is the world map. The world, as far as anyone knows, remember the people of the Ninth World don't really, they don't know what things were before. They don't know that we had however many countries and continents that we have in our world today. In the Ninth World, a billion years in the future, whether through nature or one of the other civilizations, they've kind of congealed into one big Pangea-like continent again, and our story is going to take place in the most civilized part of this world called the Steadfast. You can see on the screen here. The Steadfast is made up of 9 different kingdoms. They're not really connected at all. They kind of deal with each other because they have to. They do go at war with each other occasionally. There's not really any type of lasting truce or something. But if you remember, there's an order called the Priest of Aeon, who are kind of if there was a governing body, the Amber Priest, the head of that order of priests, would be the governing body. He doesn't technically have any jurisdiction anywhere, but people listen to them because they pretty much know how all the technology works for the most part, because they're the ones that study it. And you 4 come from an area called Thamor. If you look on here, I don't remember what I showed you there. Thamor is near the middle.
I see it.
Where?
On the
On
right,
the map. It's
right
on
middle.
the far right in the middle.
Thamor is an
Okay.
interesting place because it's kind of considered there you go. It's kind of considered the joke of the 9 kingdoms, but
Starting off good.
the previous king before that was really good at defense, so he was able to hold off attacks from the other kingdoms. So they kind of lost interest in this place, but he wasn't good at anything else. So the kingdom's kind of, it's just kind of, oh man, stuff's happening. And the king's basically gone. He died, went through a few heirs. His heirs ended up dying. And this guy named Holva the First is now king of this area. No one's quite sure where he came from, but for some reason he's noted as the king. And Holva the First has kind of conscripted, let's go ahead and say he conscripted Tuck. He's like, Tuck, I have a job. And I'm forcing you to do this, whether you trust him or not. He's a bit of an odd guy, but because he's your king, you feel like, there's probably a good bunch of people with like pointy weapons jamming you. You got to do this. You got to do this. And he's telling you that he wants you to deliver a package to the king of Ansuan. And that king is down there in Glavis. He is King Asor Mantir. And he hands you have an orb in your possession that you don't know how it works. He hands you that orb and says, make sure this makes it to Ansuan, to the king. And then the rest of you, through your backgrounds and stuff, kind of join on him. And you end up turning into this lofty band of people making your way through the Steadfast. And today's story takes place about 30 days after you start your journey. It's about 600 miles or so going from the kingdom of Thamor, the capital here, all the way down to Glavis. and you guys are around kind of this area, just passing into the borders of Ansuan. And like I said, you've been traveling for about 30 days. And let's say it's the beginning of the day. You guys are kind of putting up your camp. You can see on the map, if I move you all over to here, there's a closer view of Ansuan. And you can kind of decide where you want to go. You guys have kind of a map of some sort that tells you where to go. He didn't just say, take this to this guy. He's somewhere in this world. He gave you a map or something and showed you. So all of you are traveling together and putting up camp. So you guys can decide. The area you are in, it's kind of deserty. There's actually trees growing out of the desert area. So it's kind of a desert that you are familiar with. If you were to look closely at the sand is actually little tiny shards of glass that for some reason don't cut you.
Ouch.
And there's
Don't cut.
they don't cut you. And there's trees growing out of this desert. It's a desert and it's a forest. And you guys kind of made camp somewhere, and that's pretty much where you are right now. So you can decide kind of where you want to go, whether you want to try to make your way all the way to Glavis, or if you want to try to hit like Ishlev or go somewhere else, or whatever you want to do.
I believe just like out of character stuff, but we're all pretty much city dwellers except for Yuki's character, right? I mean, that's pretty much our backgrounds.
Probably for the most part, depending. I mean, if that's what y'all want.
Okay, it's just because it kind of, if this is our first time like out of town and out of traveling in real area, we're probably kind of tired at this point. So I personally would suggest that we go to Ishlev.
I agree.
I agree as well. Tuck failed to actually buy a tent or a bedroll or anything, and
Shoot, I forgot to.
All of you are sleeping on these tiny shards of glass, I guess.
We've been roughing it the entire time. The first time out of city.
Yes,
Whoa,
everywhere.
wait. You guys have been roughing it.
Oh.
I have a tent. I can choose one person to go in with me.
You're the experienced,
He was smart. Okay.
Why did I not bring a tent?
So you guys kind of want to make your way to Ishlev and maybe try to find some stuff to make you 25 days out on the trail here, and you're like, maybe that's enough sleeping out under the stars and stuff.
Yeah, I'm done roughing it, man. It's not gonna happen. I'm done roughing it.
Okay. Well, you guys start to make it through the forest. And it's a pretty thick forest. It's pretty cool looking because you can imagine the sand under you and the trees everywhere. I mean, these are big trees, and just out of the you can hear some kind of animals off in the distance, but it's nothing that really sticks out to you. So you start traveling this path, and after a little bit. Let's see. How can we do this? Let's go ahead and have everyone roll a... I guess perception would be some type of intelligence check. And this is going to be a difficulty of... Let's make it easy. Just a standard difficulty, so a difficulty of 2. If you look on your character sheet, you can see the standard difficulty there. And everyone will just roll that.
Roll what? A 6?
Do we just hit the button?
You can just hit the button.
And if we're trained in it, we would roll the 1 instead of the 2?
Yes, if you're trained in perception, you would instead roll the 1 because you'd go down 1 step.
I don't think... No, I'm not. Okay.
I don't think I am.
I'm sorry. Which difficulty level did you say it was, Tal?
It would be standard too.
Standard. Okay.
But success.
Hang on, I gotta reroll. I don't think I did it right. Yeah. How do I... Oh, okay, here.